Ready? Hello, everybody. How you doing? My name's Ilya Bizanis. I'm the founder of StartupBus, and this is Hans. We're going to tell you a little bit about StartupBus and what has happened. So, Hans, what is StartupBus?
Well, actually, StartupBus is a really crazy road trip.
It started when I was drinking, and that's how the idea was born.
Probably a lot of drinking always happens on the road as well. And then people, they do a job interview to be part of this experience. A lot of these people don't really know what is happening, but at the end, they always feel amazed about what they achieved.
So we put a bunch of strangers on a bus, and they have to travel for 3 days, nearly 3,000 kilometers, 1,800 miles, and they have to conceive, build, and launch a startup by the time they get off the bus. So it's not good enough that they come up with an idea. They actually have to have a product, and they have to get customers. And so we're going to show you the winner and also one of the other finalists to show you what you can actually achieve on a bus with bad Wi-Fi, traveling at 100 kilometers an hour. So should we get Zumo up?
No,
do we switch the...
Next slide.
No, that's not Zumo. We need to move to the other desktop, I think.
Oh.
Yeah? Zumo?
So these guys, I want to tell a short thing about these guys. These guys pulled off something really amazing. Everybody pulled off something amazing, but these guys, they only had 3 hours of internet throughout the entire trip, and they still managed to build something really, really, need a mic? Something really amazing, just out of their head, coding away, not just copy pasting from Stack Overflow. These guys rock, and they will show you what they built.
Thank you, guys. All right, guys, we are Zumo, and what we've done is we've built something incredibly simple that solves a very complex problem. Our service allows you to simply go to our site, zumo.io, type in a link, and then share it with a friend and instantly generate a video chat anywhere by sharing the link. So Alex wants to talk to Mehmet. He goes to the site, he creates the link, he initiates a session, he shares the link with Mehmet, who goes to it on his mobile phone. Okay? So as you can see, it's as simple as these guys sending each other a link, sharing it, and then they can immediately talk and have that session. Say hi, everyone. Nice. So that's the basics for Zumo, but let's also imagine a situation in which Greg needs to get a gym membership. So he wants to go check out CrossFit. The problem is Greg doesn't have any interest in going through all the different menus on this site and really researching and figuring out what CrossFit is like. So we can imagine a scenario in which Greg gets engaged by the owner of the CrossFit gym, who's Alex, right? Immediately, Zumo comes in, and that technology allows the business owner to communicate with Greg directly. So within the site, without leaving, Zumo will be embedded directly into the business owner's website, allowing the business owner to reach out, engage, and convert more prospects who are on his site into customers. Based on our data, this will give you about a 220% lift in conversion from website visitors to actual buyers by engaging them through an embedded link on your site that's actually just a few lines of JavaScript code. This video establishes a peer-to-peer connection that doesn't rely on huge servers and a bunch of crazy bandwidth. So the connection's awesome, the experience is awesome for the customer, there's more sales for the business, and it's a better customer experience and interaction, and that's what we do.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
So I don't think you maybe realize how complicated that is. They made a very simple product, the ability to do video chat without a Skype account, without a FaceTime account to any device, and they built that on the bus, and it's actually a really impressive feat. We're also going to bring up one of our runners-up, which is Pink Elephant, and we'll show a quick video of that.
So the first thing you see are 2 characters, and then 2 images which are associated with them. And the thumbs up means that it means good. Next, you see an elephant. This represents the tone, which is a 3rd tone. Finally, a house. This is how you pronounce the character. So house, which is how. You then move on, and you'd see another character, which would be represented by what you see here. I'm not going to run you through it, but you generally get the idea. So we're looking to digitalize the ultimate memory technique to revolutionize Mandarin character learning.
Great, thank you. So apart from just some shiny tech, this is actually also redefining ways that we can do things, and that's what we encourage at StartupBus. In this case, this is a whole new way to educate yourself on how to learn a language, like the Chinese language, which is very difficult to learn based on the tonnage and all that. Now, what we try and do with StartupBus, actually the whole point of StartupBus is to develop people. We get really smart people, we push them to their limits. We do this competition because it's a bit of fun, having Greece versus Germany versus the UK. It's kind of like, I'm not going to say Eurovision, but it's a bit like getting
some of these people only sleep for like 2 hours per night on the maximum, and they just keep on working because they know that they need to deliver, they want to deliver, and they work together with people they never met, and they just become friends for life, and they do these amazing things, and it always blows us away.
And so what we want to do is really empower the people that we think can create change in our society, to improve our society, to increase our quality of life. And so we do StartupBus as a community where we're developing people and they join this global community. And the prize that we actually give is enabling them to go to the next stage of that. But before I go into that, I just want to make a quick mention to some of our sponsors. Bloomberg was one of our major sponsors. You probably don't know this, but Bloomberg is one of the biggest tech companies around there. There's 3,000 software developers that work there. And so they came in because they want to be supporting the people that they think could be driving the future.
They even got more tech people on board than journalists.
Than journalists. We had Ford that backed the Italian bus. TransferWise, if you haven't heard, is an Estonian-based company that backed our Estonian and UK bus. And if you ever need to do a transfer, use TransferWise. Financial Times, Essentia. Odesk, if he's in the audience, just give him a quick mention. Do you want to come up here for a few seconds? Yep, now. Odesk recently merged with Elance. We've always been one of our sponsors, and he can explain to you what Odesk is.
That's exactly right. I was showing the bus personally last year, and I can tell you it's tough to be 72 hours on a bus, like without sleep, only based on high caffeine drinks. It's something that really is challenging. The reason why we are supporting them is because there is a life after StartupBus. So some of the teams are really highly engaged with the product, and they should be going on. The question is, how are they getting things out there? How are they getting to the resources? And this is exactly where Odesk and Elance is coming into place. This is where they can book any kind of talent that they need to basically put the resources in their team that they don't have themselves. So we provide them with accounts so that they can use like translators, developers, designers that they cannot use in their own teams. That's basically what we provide to any startups out there.
And so thank you, Odesk, Elance, and to all our sponsors that have actually enabled this experience. So what we offer these teams as a prize is actually what we call StartupBus, which is the sister business to StartupBus. You just heard from Product Hunt. I think it was Eric that was speaking. He actually has been living out of StartupHouse. Naval, who we mentioned is an investor in Product Hunt, is also an investor in StartupHouse, as well as Dave McClure of 500 Startups. And StartupHouse is an 1,000 square meter building in San Francisco, right in the heart of San Francisco. It's shared office space on the ground floor and up to 50 beds on the upper 2 floors. And it's basically, when you enter Silicon Valley, StartupHouse is basically the plug and play, where you can then build your network, get a bed, get a desk, and get mentorship, which is another program that we do out of StartupHouse. The original idea behind StartupHouse was once you get off that bus, I was thinking, well, we need to be able to support people. I never thought you could create a real bus, a startup off a bus. But some of these ideas have become so great that we've creating this program to try and support these people. So the winner is going to be getting 3 months in StartupHouse for free. They don't have to pay anything. They get accommodation. They get workspace. They get introductions to investors. We recently ran a pilot program with the runner-up of StartupBus, Bridgeify. And what happened with them is they raised their first 100K and they turned it down because they think they're that good at a $1.7 million valuation, I think, which is on par with what Y Combinator tends to get a lot of its startups. So that was a great experiment for us, and now we're going to do this permanently, starting with the StartupBus community, but then hopefully other startups that want to move to Silicon Valley. So
basically, we just have to announce who won the final competition.
The what, sorry?
We have to just announce the winner of the final competition.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Almost forget it. So I think we had around 30, 40 different companies being built during these 3 days. A lot of these companies everything ranged through real estate to doing job interviews. You just saw 2 of those companies being built in the last 72 hours. And actually one of those 2 companies is the winner.
Right.
And the winner is a company who's got built on a bus which run from a new country. We just added it up to the European competition this year. The winner is Sumo. So please come up on the stage and give them a warm applause.
Zumo was on the Greek bus, and what's very exciting about this is, as a Greek myself of ancestry, to be able to see Greece produce people that can create. Winning a European competition is a really satisfying thing. Even more funny is the fact that we've got Americans and Turks on this bus, on the Greek bus, and Canadian. So, so well done, guys.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Cool. So I think we've still got time. So unless anyone's got any other questions, we can leave you to start drinking.
Let's get some drinks.
So the next StartupBus, this is the 4th time we've run it in Europe. We had 150 people involved. We also have done it 5 times in America. We recently launched it in Australia. And
you guys had a funny bus there, right?
We had a funny what, sorry?
The bus you were driving in Australia?
That's right. That was the bus that the Rolling Stones are going to be using in Australia. So we like to have a bit of fun in our road trips. We're trying our best to not keep growing StartupBus, but we keep getting people pushing us to keep growing it, so we may be launching it to a few more continents. But the next one for sure will be North America.
Keep an eye out on StartupBus.com. And if there's any questions after this, just pop over. We'll help you guys out. Thank you very much. Let's get some drinks.
Cool. Thank you.